What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I wanted to talk about what is now my favorite mode to play in Warzone ever. And this is the Power Grab mode. Now this is something that came with the mid-season update for Season 3, and initially I just sort of wrote it off as one of those silly sort of limited time modes, and I didn't really plan on playing it. However, on stream a couple days ago, my chat did convince me to try it out, and I'm so glad they did because I am loving this. Now just a side note here, if you guys ever do want to come check out my live streams, I do stream on Twitch about 3 days a week, and I will of course leave a link to my channel in the description down below. But let's talk about this Power Grab mode, how it works, why I like it so much, as well as a little bit of constructive feedback and how I feel like they could make some minor tweaks just to improve it overall, if it's going to be sticking around or at least coming back in the future. So let's start it off with just a quick explanation of how this mode works for anybody that maybe hasn't checked it out yet. And essentially, it's a standard battle royale. However, you do start with an already slightly constrained circle, so it's a slightly smaller area of the map. And with this mode, there are no loadouts at all, and also you earn items and perks by picking up tags from people that you kill, or even people that other people kill as well. You just have to pick up those dog tags in order to work your way up, and with every dog tag you pick up, you're going to be getting some kind of a new perk or item or something. And just to quickly go over the list in order of what you're going to be receiving as you pick up these dog tags. For the first dog tag, you get a UAV right up front, which is great. That really encourages early aggression in the game mode, especially considering the fact that nobody will have Ghost at that point, so you can see everyone on the map. Then at 2 tags, you get a weapon drop. 3 is a respawn token, so if you die, you can just automatically respawn. And by the way, you do start with one of these respawn tokens, so you can get up to 2 here. Then for 4, we've got the Cluster Strike, 5 is an Armor Satchel, 6 is the Advanced Gas Mask, 7 is the Precision Airstrike, 8 is the Specialist Strike Package, so this gives you all of the perks, a slight movement speed burst, and it even gives you most of the Modern Warfare weapon perks that just immediately apply to your weapons. But finally, after Specialist, on the 9th tag that you pick up, you then max this out and you get a proper Advanced UAV. And what I mean by proper Advanced UAV is this will even show Ghost users, although it doesn't show the direction that they're facing. It will show literally every player on the map, even if they already got Specialist, which means they have the Ghost perk at that point. But yeah, aside from that, it's a pretty standard battle royale. You loot your weapons and equipment and stuff like that. The gas circle will shrink over time. However, there is one other thing that's a little bit different, and this is there's an exfil chopper at the end for the very last circle of the game. An exfil chopper will appear at the center of that circle, and this means you can win the game by either just killing all of the other players, or if there's somebody else still alive and they're just hiding somewhere, you can just exfil using the chopper, and you'll still win the game that way without even having to kill them. And all of this combined makes for an amazing game mode for players that like aggression. They like gunfights. They don't really want to just like sit and hide all game, although you technically still could do that. But one of the main reasons I love this so much is the players that get out there, get their kills, and pick those tags up. Those are the players that are going to be rewarded, and they're going to be hitting their bonuses sooner, and therefore they can sort of snowball that into more and more power as time goes on. So essentially, this mode strongly encourages and rewards aggressive playstyles, and it's not too great for those players that like to play super slow. I should also mention that it is possible to get dog tags sometimes out of loot crates that are just around the map, so that could help the lesser skilled players that maybe aren't quite as confident winning gunfights, so they don't end up way behind people that are just amazing at winning all their gunfights and getting tags quickly. But yeah, I absolutely love the fact that with this mode that you are encouraged and rewarded for going out there and getting your kills. To stack on top of this and further encourage this aggression, you get that free redeploy token at the beginning of the game, so even if you die right up front and you don't get any tags or any kills or anything, you get that one free redeploy without having to go to a gulag or anything. And then, like I said, if you manage to get 3 of those tags, you get another redeploy token. So you have up to 3 lives in this mode, and you don't have to win a gulag to come back. It's just a wave respawn that you come back with. Another thing I love about this mode is the fact that you have that Specialist bonus to work toward throughout a game. Now, Specialist has technically been available in Warzone if you complete like certain Easter eggs, like if you were to get into one of the bunkers or something. It's a super rare item that you could get maybe like 1 in 100 games, it feels like. Like I've only ever seen it maybe twice in my playtime of Warzone. But with this mode, you can potentially earn that every single game. As long as you are picking up 8 tags in a game, you get that Specialist bonus, and it just feels so good and freeing to finally earn that. And the most effective way to earn that is through aggression. So it rewards you quite a bit once you reach there. And you really want to try and get that Specialist bonus before everybody else gets their Specialist bonus up, because that gives you more of an advantage over them. So yeah, I love that part about it as well. You do have the ability to get all of the perks at once and makes you feel a little bit like a super soldier, even though you're still definitely killable. Then another little mechanic about this mode that I haven't mentioned yet is when you pick a tag up, it instantly replenishes your health and your armor plates. So if you're in a really stressed, hectic situation and you have a team pushing you, if you kill one of those players, pick up their tag, you're now back to full health and back in the action, and you can take on your next gunfight. Which again, this just further rewards and encourages aggressive play. Now, another thing I really like at the end of the game is the fact that you do have that exfil chopper available. And what this does is it punishes players that just want to camp it out and try and stay hidden right until the last moment of the match. If you try to do that, if you just try to hide from your enemies in that last circle, they can just exfil out and win the game against you. So it really forces those engagements in that last circle. And again, this is just another area that I really enjoy about this mode. But finally, one of the biggest reasons I feel like I really am enjoying this mode in relation to the rest of Warzone is the fact that there are no loadouts. And don't get me wrong, I think loadouts were a good idea for the standard modes of Warzone. It does make the game more competitive because then you're relying less on just getting lucky and finding the right gun or finding a good gun on the ground because you get the exact loadout that you want once you get the right amount of cash. But at least as far as this limited time mode goes and the pacing of this mode and everything, it's actually really refreshing to have to look for guns and try to find a better gun and try to set yourself up in a good way without just finding cash and getting the exact loadout that you want. I find this makes looting a little bit more engaging, a little bit more exciting, and it's nice to be actively searching to try and find the slightly better gun than the one that you have, and you kind of just have to make do with what you got until you find something better. So again, I'm not sure I would want this for the regular modes of the game, but when it comes to this limited time mode, I love the fact that there are no loadouts, and everybody just has to deal with what they find on the ground. Now, having said all of this, that's all the things that I love about this mode, and like I said, I think this is my favorite mode that I've ever played in Warzone as far as limited time modes go. I'm having an absolute blast with this. However, I do have a few pieces of feedback, things that I feel could potentially improve it at least a little bit. I honestly think it's nearly perfect and nothing really needs to change, but if it were up to me, first up, I would love to try this in solo game modes. I think this would fix a lot of the inherent issues with solo game modes in Warzone, and that is that aggressive playstyles are just not rewarded properly in solo modes, and the people that are rewarded most are people that basically just sit in buildings waiting to hear footsteps come by. So I would love to play this in solos. I think it would be a blast to play in solo modes. However, another thing I noticed is it doesn't feel like there's very much weapon variety as far as weapons that are just spawning on the ground or in crates and stuff. It feels like it's a very limited set of weapons, and I think more variety would go a long way as far as improving that excitement and that engagement when it comes to looting and trying to find better guns or trying to build yourself up as time goes on by finding those better weapons or better equipment and stuff like that on the ground. So yeah, a bit more variety in the weaponry would be great. Basically what I've found so far with this mode is you just try and find an LC10. Once you've got an LC10, you're set, and that's all you really need. Although if you can find the upgraded LC10, that's even better if you can find the gold one. But it would be nice if there was a bit more variety and a few more guns that would also be highly sought after because, like I said, the LC10 I feel is just kind of best overall for this particular mode and the way it plays. Next up, another thing that I'm not a huge fan of is when you respawn in this mode, you respawn with everything that you had when you got killed. So any guns or equipment or armor plates that were in your inventory, you respawn with that, which I like that aspect of it so you can get right back in the action quickly. However, the one thing I'm not really a huge fan of is when you redeploy, you start off with 3 armor plates already equipped on you. And this means coming off a redeploy, you can land right on top of somebody basically with your parachute, and you're immediately at full power in that fight. You've got the weapons that you died with, you've also got 3 armor plates equipped, which they might not have had time to get 3 armor plates equipped if they're just finishing up a fight, for instance. So you could actually have an advantage landing in on somebody. And I don't think you should quite have an advantage. If it were up to me, I would say maybe you should respawn with 2 armor plates equipped, so that way you just don't get melted out of the sky instantly. But then you're also not quite at full power when you hit the ground. And I would still make it so you have the armor plates in your inventory that you ended up dying with, so you could land and then put that armor plate on and be back in the fight at full power. But I just don't think you should immediately have that full power. Aside from that, though, I really feel like this mode is nearly perfect for what it's meant to be. As a limited time mode that heavily favors aggressive playstyles and strongly encourages people to be moving around and engaging in fights and then going to the bodies and picking those tags up, I just personally love this experience. And if you haven't tried this yet and you're somebody that does like more aggressive playstyles, you should definitely give it a shot before it's gone because it's a blast. Now, of course, those are all just my opinions. I'd like to know in the comment section below. For those of you guys that have tried Power Grab so far, what do you think about it? Do you really like this mode? Do you hate it? Or are you just kind of indifferent? Just let me know those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.